game with Peyton the other day when she came to visit me in the back room, and there's a picture of Jesus on the wall. And her grandma said, well, who's that? And she said Jesus. She knew who he was. So we started playing a game about getting her to say, Jesus is my very best friend. Jesus is my very best friend. That's something your little babies need to know. They need to know that. Your grandchildren need to know that. Is that what they hear on your knee? Or did they hear, get away from there? Has your stuff become more important than your grandchildren? See, I grew up with a grandma where I was always welcome wherever. We were welcome in the barn, we were welcome in the living room, we were welcome in the basement, we were welcome everywhere. We were always, always, always welcome. Never, ever, ever were we told that we needed to go somewhere. And I had another grandma who was always, always saying, Tina, go straight on the cow. In other words, children, go play in the basement. Go play in the basement. Children, get off the furniture. Children, don't do that. Children, don't do that. Children, don't do that. Think about it. Let it in. Let it in. Ask God this morning, what are you going to do this morning, God? He says, grow you. I hate it when you say that. Because sometimes you have growing pains, like Brian said. I'm just sharing some of the growing pains.
That's good. That's good.
It's important. Will we speak blessing over our children and grandchildren, or do we curse them along the way? Talk about how stupid they are and the stupid things that they do. They're kids. They do foolish things. Why weren't you there to guide them? Duh. Think about it a little bit. Think about it a little bit. Joseph is, by the way, one of the few men. I did a study one time in youth, and I was looking for a man that I could hold up for the youth as an example. And I said, my goodness, this book is a mess. I couldn't find a man that didn't have affairs, or that didn't have this, or didn't have that, or he had concubines, or many wives, or he had, like, I'm just like, I said, God, is there not one good man amongst here? Like what's going on in this book? And so I came across Joseph, and it blessed me when I found out, because as far as I know, I could only always find that he had one wife. One of the things that really blessed me is that it says his grandchildren grew up on his knee. His grandchildren grew up on his knee. Oh, that blessed me. There is absolutely nothing as thrilling as when I watch Pastor sit in his big easy chair with our grandson on his knee. Oh, my word, that blesses me. That blesses me. Because that's one of the promises that I did get to see, that our grandchildren grow up on our knees. You have no idea. As a matter of fact, that grandson of ours is getting to be 10 years old and a little bit bigger than what that chair can handle. Val has seen it, and actually what happens is he sits down on Grandpa's knee, Grandpa's sitting in his chair this way, he sits this way, he pushes with his feet up against the arm, and literally the arm is loose on that chair. Yes, we need a new chair. Pastor says he's not getting a new one until Michael's all finished sitting on his lap. So anyway, we'll see if it lasts that long. These are important things. They sit there and they visit. those two. And that's his only grandson, by the way. So it's really, really, it blesses me that those two have that kind of a relationship. And that is something that you guys need to do, because he can speak forward. Those of you that have been at my backyard, you notice that we have a deck, and some of you notice that there's a nail sticking out, or not sticking out. It's a very crooked nail in the deck, and it's very obviously right where you come out the door. And that nail was put in there by our grandson when he was too little to hold a hammer, and so needless to say, it's wonky, very wonky. And so I said, oh, I'll just pull it out of there, and my husband said, oh no, that nail will stay there as long as the deck is there. You know, because him and his grandson were building that deck together. And so that nail is still there. We put on a new deck this year on the south side, and I couldn't figure out why he was dawdling with pulling the old deck off and adding on it. I have a sneaking suspicion it has something to do with that nail. I have a sneaking suspicion that that probably will be the last side of the deck being built, because he doesn't want to pull that nail out of there. I have a sneaking suspicion that board might even be saved. See, there's good, you have to be able to have relationship with your grandchildren if you want to play stuff forward. Now, some of you that don't have grandchildren will say, it's just a nail. Wait just a little bit until you have kids or grandkids. It's not just a nail. It's not just a nail. Michael might not notice it now, but he put that thing in there when he was very little. He may not even know. One day he's going to say, what is this crooked nail right here? And then Grandpa's going to be able to say, I saved that all these years. Because you put that nail there. You put that nail there. Generations. Are we willing to watch our words and what we speak to our kids and our grandkids? Will we speak blessings over our children? It's either blessings or cursings. One or the other. Are we willing to suffer ridicule for the things of the Lord? Question. Noah suffered ridicule. If you read that story,
Oh, yeah.
Noah suffered ridicule. Are we willing? Or do we shut up the very second of ridicule and walk away? There's really ain't a legacy down for our children. Will we be considered pleasing to God? Are we willing to stand up for the truth? Or go to prison? When it's God's law or man's law? Some of those things are coming to a head in this country. Are you willing to stand, or are you going to buck? Because you're laying down a legacy for your children. Will we go when God asks in blind obedience? Are we keeping our eyes on that yet unseen city? Are we telling our children about that yet unseen city? Do our grandchildren, have they ever even heard you tell them about a city? Because it's that city that they're going to have to keep their eye on. Do they know there is even a city?